Hello and welcome. This is rooflemonger, and my friends, we may have a leak on our hands in regards to Marvel Tokon. So a lot of people are very heavily invested in which characters may or may not make it into the game, and it looks like due to potential slip up, we probably got a better idea of what's going on that front. Now, despite the fact that you clicked the video and are currently listening to me speak, I do have to issue a potential spoiler warning. Like, if you do not want to know these characters, it's time to click out, although hit the like button before you go, please. Thank you very much, it helps a lot. So, that said, we're going to get into it, obviously, but who are some of the characters that leaked out? Well, it looks like the two characters we got that may be in the roster from this leak are Magneto and Scarlet Witch. Yes, it is indeed Daddy-Daughter Day. And we got a couple more game details just besides the characters, but now let's talk about where this came from. So we have an online retailer, Ozone.bg, based out of Bulgaria, and they have their Marvel Tokon pre-order page up, and they got some words on here that are a little extra descriptive. So on top of some stages we haven't heard of, like the Hellfire Gala and the Sanctum Sanctorum, we also got some characters: Spider-Man, Wolverine, okay, sure, Scarlet Witch, Magneto, and more. These characters are obviously not quite announced just yet. But here they are in the copy, and it's clear as day on the website. And I'll give a link in the video description. As of the time of me making this video, all the descriptors are still there at this moment. So we'll talk about what this means in a moment, but first off, can we buy this? Like, is this the real deal? Well, it is clear as day on the website. And as someone who's reported on various fighting game leaks for years and years and years, let me tell you, this is hardly the first time something has leaked because of a storefront mishap. It is in fact one of the most common ways for something to leak out. The various companies just get, their marketing data from, the game makers. Okay, here's what to post, here's what you gotta say. And then someone posted a bit too early and boom, it leaks out. While I won't necessarily say this is guaranteed, I've seen this exact horse race play out a million times before is what I'm trying to say. As it currently stands, I have no reason to doubt it. So that said, I'm gonna take it as a given, and as far as roster choices go, it's pretty smart. Like Scarlet Witch, especially in recent years, being part of the MCU and all that, is sort of a big deal, and you could probably make a very interesting fighting game character out of her. And well, Magneto. Like Wolverine, Storm, and Doctor Doom, Magneto is simply a famous fighting game character. Yeah, obviously he's a Marvel property and all, right? But he's a legend in his own right in fighting games, and is a pretty smart get for the game. Now that said, even though I'm showing the B-roll, don't necessarily expect him to play like Marvel vs. Capcom Magneto, because this is Arc System Works. They're doing their own thing, right? Like Storm is obviously pretty different than classic Marvel Storm. Doctor Doom is very different, although a couple similarities than Marvel, because he does have the laser, which is a little reminiscent of hidden missiles. And Marvel Tokon Wolverine is a super armor character, apparently, so that's very different than Marvel vs. Capcom Wolverine, right? So maybe there might be an homage or two, but expect Tokon Magneto to be very much his own thing. That said, though, you can do a lot with a Magneto, to say the least. Certainly a character that can fly. Hopefully they make something of the whole magnet deal. Push-pull mechanics could be very interesting. At bare minimum props, fling a bunch of metal at you, right? And Wanda, well, Scarlet Witch has never been in a proper fighting game before, so you can kind of just do what you want with her. Just get weird with it. So if you want to speculate a Scarlet Witch moveset in the comments, by all means, go crazy. And then there's the question of the teams, because now we know teams are a thing, right? We have the Unbreakable X-Men, which is already spoken for now, so obviously Magneto could not be part of that, and Scarlet Witch is not really an X-Men character, but Magneto, well, we sort of got a team. When they show the footage at the last trailer, it's like, which team will you assemble? And Storm is the leader of the Unbreakable X-Men. And unless it's a red herring, which it could be, the other team leaders would be Captain America, Spider-Man, Ghost Rider, and Doctor Doom. And suffice it to say, Magneto is not a great fit for Cap, Spider-Man, or Ghost Rider. Now, Victor and Eric don't love each other, to say the least, but if Doom is the head of, Team Villain, then Magneto would be a good fit for Team Villain. as it's very fair to say, I think anyways, that they are simply Marvel's two most iconic villain characters. Now, who else could be on a villain team? Well, there's a lot of possibilities. Like, you'd want a big hitter, so like Thanos would be another really big hitter, right? But now that we know they're getting weird with it, and the fact that characters like Danger are a thing, you know, very obscure to the modern audience characters, right? It would be cool if they had like 3 big hitter villains, and like someone that's a little less obvious. Although that said, it would have to be a big hitter, because you can't have Doctor Doom and Magneto on the same team, and then have like the Hobgoblin on the team. Like, I love the Hobgoblin, don't get me wrong, right? But like, you gotta keep in ranks with the prestige of the team. Although we're like 95% sure the champion is the boss of the game. And if he's playable, then, well, I guess that's the team he would fit on. He's a cosmic level character, so he's certainly got the chops for it at a minimum. So that's Magneto. What about Scarlet Witch? So we do know there's, at least Captain America, some sort of Avenger team. Scarlet Witch is a longtime Avenger. Although she's definitely caused a lot of friction in her day as an Avenger, right? A lot of the major events, like what birthed the modern Marvel comic timeline, is mostly because of Scarlet Witch. But, you know, we also have that Ghost Rider team. Like, I've speculated the Ghost Rider team might be the Midnight Suns. Like, it's a different Ghost Rider technically, but we have Ghost Rider, Blade is often featured in the Midnight Suns, and there's been different permutations of the team. And they usually tackle things from like a more magical / supernatural angle, and Scarlet Witch is, you know, a magician. At least sometimes. Her lore is like some of the most retcon nonsense of all of Marvel history. Fun fact, at the peak of X-Men weren't allowed to be in the movies, they retconned Scarlet Witch and Quicksilver even being Magneto's children. Like, they were experiments by the High Evolutionary or something like that. I don't even remember. It's stupid. Regardless, however, so say we have the Ghost Rider team and it is the Midnight Suns, right? So Ghost Rider, Blade, everyone wants Blade. No one will argue against Blade. Blade is one of the coolest MFers of all human history. Then we do Wanda, Scarlet Witch, and then we do Doctor Strange. And again, Doctor Strange's Sanctum Sanctorum is going to be a stage in the game going by this leak. Now, a stage being in the game doesn't necessarily correlate to a team, because like obviously there's no Savage Land team. Although, just saying. But yeah, so Scarlet Witch, Ghost Rider, if it's Midnight Suns, that sort of makes sense. Or they could just go classic and she's part of the Avengers. Honestly, easy fit as the teams as we currently understand them. But yeah, so there we are. Magneto and the Scarlet Witch are potentially 2 of the playable characters in Marvel Tokon. Again, it's not a guarantee, but I've seen retailers leak so many things over the years. It's one of the absolute most common ways for something in gaming in general to leak out is because a retailer posted something early. And while I'm here to basically present to you this as a rumor more than a fact, I feel like this is probably a done deal. And one I think that'll make most people pretty happy because they're both very popular characters. So that said, that's sort of the news. I'm sure you got something to say about Scarlet Witch or Magneto, so please post in the comments below. And again, no guarantees, but I kind of hope it's true because it'd be cool. I'm down with these characters. But other than that, that's it for me. That's it for the video. So thank you very much for watching. Hope this video has found you well, and go out and play some fighting games.